Hi, I represent our raw material, a thought practice for finding common ground, for finding a way to represent ourselves in a world that sometimes feels like it doesn't welcome us. Each of us have our own set of raw material that we came in with, and this practice of developing a relationship with 12 different pillars, just getting that relationship active and moving, puts us in a space of being able to accept anything that happens. Which brings me to where we sit today. It is Election Day, November 5th, 2024, and polls are closing in a few hours. The world is about to learn who our new leader will be. And I've tried to set a little bit of a purple vibe here because no matter whether your side wins or loses, there's still this notion that we could all blend and work together. And that's the space that I would like to talk from without knowing what the answers are yet. Which brings me to where we are right now at our raw material. It is Values and Ideals Week. And we are all voting based on what we value. For those of us who do choose to have a say, let's form the best that we can imagine based on our value system and let other people work for their value systems. And I think if we can support each other in this way, trusting that whatever value system we have, there's a group willing to help support what we want, work with those people for what we want, rather than trying to point out what's wrong with the things that we don't want, we will find more activity. And our raw material is all about movement. It's all about taking the places where we get stuck. So let's say your person loses and you wake up tomorrow or however many days it takes to find a winner, and you struggle to attach to what the next 4 years are going to feel like. And you get yourself surrounded in this bubble of fear, which is bringing you a constant stream of things you don't want and things you aren't going to like. At our raw material, we flip the script and ask ourselves to look at what's good about a situation, even if it's a terrible situation. It's an exercise for our brain to start expanding and looking at things from different ways. That whole thinking outside the box thing, what if we always started outside the box? What if the box didn't even exist and we were allowed and encouraged to imagine the best for a situation? So let's go back to this scenario where your person didn't win. Instead of all the fears of what the person you don't want in office is going to do, how about we imagine them doing really amazing things? And that doesn't mean we're getting our hopes up. That doesn't mean we're trying to have things happen that probably won't, but it means we're putting energy towards something creative and good. And over the next 4 years, if that group of people can be pushing an energy that is creatively forceful, building, manifesting positive things for all of us, I think we find ourselves in a much better place in 4 years, no matter what happens during this cycle. Let's remind ourselves that every time government does what government does, we each have a reaction, the people around us have a reaction, and each of our reactions are different based on our own set of criteria of what our value system is and what is important to us. Learning how to represent our own value system is one of the coolest things we can possibly do for ourselves and really the people around us. Maybe people don't really want to hear a piece of your mind when it comes from a place of putting someone in their place. But to hear from someone's heart, that's a different space. And there's an allowance when we are receiving what someone says rather than being defensive in the face of what they're saying. All I'm suggesting is that as we encounter things that we don't like over the next few days, over the next few weeks, months, years, or as we celebrate this major coup that we just had, let's take the space and time to look at how other people around us receive that, feel, in relation to their raw material, in relation to their body, in relation to their environment. Every one of us has a different way of looking at the world. These are the things that we can focus on that allow us to represent ourselves in spaces of creative solution rather than fearful reaction. Let's replace those fears with creative imagination. Ideal Playground. Woo!